Good afternoon, everyone. Tractorman 44 here. I tell you all the time I like old women and old tractors and old motorcycles, not necessarily in that order. Well, that's a little bit of a lie because I like new motorcycles too. Got a little buddy. I've known him since we were, well, hell, back in our 20s, I guess. And he's a very avid motorcyclist, a very capable motorcycle mechanic, and a very good motorcycle rider. And he's a little older than I am, a year or two. And I just had a knee replaced, and he's got him about a 2010, I think he told me, SV650 Suzuki. It's a fairly tall seat height, so he's lowered the machine a little bit, put lowering links on the back, and he raised the forks up in triple tree about the same amount to maintain the same geometry on the motorcycle. But now he found that the center stand on that motorcycle, which is pretty heavy, it's probably 600 pounds, 625 pound or better, dry weight. He said with that new knee, he's having a little bit of a trouble getting that big old motorcycle up on that center stand. So what he's done is he's taken that center stand off and removed a section out of it and brought me the parts and pieces and wanted me to reinforce that and then weld that back together so that he'll have a shorter center stand so that he'll be able to leverage it up, with his knee not being totally back to 100% yet. So that's what we're doing today, folks. It ain't no tractor video, it's a motorcycle video. And I don't even have the doggone motorcycle here. So what I did, I took some, just a piece of 1/2 inch black iron gas pipe, schedule 40, just a piece of scrap black iron pipe, and turned it down a few thousandths inch on the lathe to where it would fit, not necessarily snugly, but just enough inside there where it's going to give us some additional support and is going to allow us to maintain the integrity of the angles that's going to be required to match the original angles. Now what he done before he sliced that piece out of it, he put me some marks on the pipe, some alignment marks, so that whenever I weld that back up, we should maintain the geometry of the original factory settings. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bevel this down and then try to burn through completely and tag this reinforcement piece in with the parent metals here. I'm going to do that on both of them and then re-weld this part right here, the part that the weld seam that actually had to come off, and re-weld that, of course, to the upright. So that's the goal of this particular project. After beveling those and then buffing all the paint off of it, went ahead and was able to get this one really nice and tacked it fairly good in place. I've still got to touch that up and make that a prettier weld. And also go around the entire portion of it. But I went ahead and clamped this straight edge, this bar across it, so that I could orient the foot just exactly on the same plane as it rests on the ground as what this one over here is. I don't know that you can see that. There's the one foot, and here will be the other foot over here. And as long as that clamp is on there, and I've got his marks lined up right here, his alignment marks, and I already welded this one up here in line with the alignment marks, it should set the motorcycle perfectly straight up and down when he rolls it up on the center stand. So, and what I'm doing for this particular one, I'm using this old Snap-on. Did a little side job and traded for this not too long ago. It's a Snap-on YA212A, which is still a current machine. I don't really know how old it is, but it's probably, I didn't run the serial number, it's probably 15 years old or so. But it's doing a really fine Gerald, job. If you're watching this, and if I can get it in the right position to see both of the feet, you can tell that with them bound down to this straight edge and the one welded already reasonably permanently, it should work out just about as you planned. Well, there it is, stuck together completely. Not real proud of the welds. The welds are adequate, they're strong enough, but they're not as perfect as I would like them to be. But that should work out fine. I think we maintain geometry. I think everything's exactly the same angle. I think it's absolutely perfect. Probably use a flap disc on those welds a little bit, kind of knock the rough off of them a bit, and a couple coats of, well, maybe a coat of primer and a couple of coats of black, and he can put this back on that SV650 and head off to where he wants to ride. So there we have it. Another non-tractor related project put to rest. But it's for a good cause. It's for an old buddy of mine, He gets to ride motorcycles a heck of a lot more than what I do. I think I'm going to quit all this stuff and start riding a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'm going to go do that. Hey, this is Tractorman 44, and I am out of here.